Hello and welcome to episode number 17 of the Cheesesteaks and Controllers podcast for Fox PHL The Gambler, 102.5 FM, 1480 AM, and iHeart Radio. I am your esports and gaming insider, Jason Fanelli, and I come to you tonight with a heavy heart, a somber heart. There are things that we are going to be discussing this evening that are sad, unfortunate. Wish I could talk differently, but we're going to have to breach the topic of the Fusion, just what happened in their first Grand Finals match. We'll have to talk about the North American side of the League of Legends group play, which was, to put it lightly, not good. And we'll get into some other fun stuff. It's not going to be all gloom and doom, I promise. We're going to talk about the new consoles, Xbox Series X and PS5, and what to expect from them in a certain aspect. We'll get into that. And then I'm going to end the show on what might be a bit of a rant, because there's something that I keep seeing that's really starting to get under my skin, and I have to get it off my chest. But we'll get into that. We'll do all that. First, let's not forget the 6 in 60 seconds. The Overwatch League Grand Finals have begun. The first matches on Thursday saw San Francisco defeat Seoul and Shanghai defeat Philadelphia. The remaining matches will be played after this episode is taped. Meanwhile, League of Legends group play proves disastrous for the North American teams, with the number 1 North American seed going 0-3, number 2 1-2, and number 3 Team Liquid finishing 3-3. Elsewhere in League of Legends, Riot Games dissolves their Australian-based Oceanic Pro League and will allow top teams and players from the region to move to North America without a team using an import slot. Elsewhere, PlayStation has unveiled a 7-minute teardown video of the PlayStation 5, showing off the system specifications by dismantling a console part by part. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate has been announced for the new consoles with a free upgrade for those who currently own it, adding Rain, the Purple Ninja, Melina, and Rambo, voiced by Sylvester Stallone himself, to the game. And finally, the court date between Apple and Epic Games, stemming from Epic's free Fortnite campaign, has been set for May the 3rd of 2021. That is your 6 in 60 seconds. Lot to dive into in those 6 in 60 seconds. The Mortal Kombat news is amazing. I thought there might be more characters because they were calling it Combat Pack 2. The first one had 6 characters, but when one of the 3 is Rambo, actually voiced by Sylvester Stallone himself, that's pretty dang cool. Also, the PlayStation teardown video, watching someone dismantle a PlayStation 5 part by part, is equally fascinating, and hey, I would have taken that. Why did you break it apart? So, I mean, if you want to dismantle a PS5 and send it here, I'll figure out how to put it back if I don't have to pay the $500 for it. But, I digress. Let's get into the first topic of the evening, and that, unfortunately, is a sad one. That is what happened to the teams we were rooting for in esports. We're going to start with our Philadelphia Fusion. Now, let's get one thing straight. I am recording this podcast. I'm recording this segment right now at 8:47 p.m. on Thursday, October the 8th, 2020. The only match I have as a reference is the first match they played. They could very well, by the time you hear this on the radio Saturday at 4 o'clock, have orchestrated an amazing comeback, won 3 straight matches, and are currently your 2020 Overwatch League Grand Champions. I would love that. I would break down the door to the studio and record a live shot right then and there if I could. Coronavirus can piss off if the Philadelphia Fusion pull this off, but I'm not confident in that based on what happened today against the Shanghai Dragons. Now, I have said on record numerous times, both in this podcast and on the radio with Sean Brace, that I was worried about Shanghai. We had never seen them. And they tore through the Asian region, which some people thought, despite only having 7 teams, was the more difficult region to play through. We had no background on them. We had no idea how we would look against them. And the answer to how we would look against them is not good, helpless, bad, awful in some regards. First map is a control map. Now, control, if you remember, is you have a central point and the two teams are trying to claim it, like capture the flag and fill a percentage meter from 0 to 100%. When it gets to 100, that team takes the point. First to get 2 rounds wins. The first round was basically all Shanghai. I think it was 100 to 34% by the time it was over. The second round was the opposite. It was all Philadelphia. They came in guns blazing, turned it around, and claimed the second point. The third point was tooth and nail, back and forth, 99% versus 99%, but in the end, Shanghai were able to just take it from us with a couple of well-placed shots from Fleta and some fantastic defensive work from Void to take the map 1-0 in the series from the Fusion and go into the second map. And from then on, this match was all Shanghai. This was one of the shoutcasters, one of the casters at the end of the match said, "People say defense wins championships." And if that's true, then that's why Shanghai is moving on in the series, because they played defense of the points that they had to defend in these second and third maps in a way that I have never seen before. They were disgustingly good in both Kings Row and Volkskaya Industries, to the point where Fusion went first, scored no points, and then Shanghai only had to do one objective, or 1 point. They didn't have to really do much because they shut down the Fusion elsewhere. That is not really good for your Fusion, particularly going into the match tomorrow with the Seoul Dynasty. If they could just be shut down by a team in a very dominant fashion in the Final Four, where the top 4 teams are vying for the championship, I can't imagine they're going to be any more effective against Seoul, who was another team that we have never seen before. We have no idea what to expect, just like Shanghai was, and who took the San Francisco Shock to the limit. San Francisco went up 2-0, and Seoul was able to not only take the next 2 maps to make it 2-2, but made the 5th map interesting, to the point where I thought Seoul might have turned it around. But unfortunately, San Francisco went up 2-0 early in map 5, and when it was Seoul's turn, they weren't able to answer. San Francisco did pull it off. It's sad in a way that once again it seems like the Fusion are going to get this close and not be able to finish the job. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but if I have to base it on the performance that we saw on Thursday morning, I can't be confident. Now again, when you hear this on the radio on Saturday at 4 o'clock, if the Fusion have made this turnaround, beat the Seoul Dynasty, beat whoever they'll see next, whether it be Shanghai or San Francisco, after immediately beating Seoul, it's like the Fusion can't even come off the controllers. They have to stay on if they win. Beat San Francisco or Shanghai, and then beat the other team between San Francisco and Shanghai in the grand finals, and they're hoisting the cup on Saturday morning, a couple hours before this airs. I will be the first one to correct myself next Thursday with Sean Brace at 4 o'clock on the Daily Ticket. I will be the first. You can tweet me at Big Man Fanelli every insult, to a point. There's some things I will have to draw the line on. You can call me a dumbass, a doo-doo head, whatever you want to call me if the Fusion pull this off. And I will take it gracefully and happily if it means that we are the grand champions of the Overwatch League 2020. But where I sit right now, I just don't know how they can pull this off based on the unsettlingly disappointing performance we got today. I hate to say this about a team I love so much. I'm used to saying it about teams I love so much. I'm from Philadelphia. But I need to see a little more from them tomorrow when they play Seoul. If they can run through Seoul 3-0, and then whoever they happen to see in that losers finals, give them a little bit of guff too, fine. Underdogs are good in this city. Dogs gotta eat. And right now, for me, Fusion is the 4th seed of the 4 that are left. Because at least Seoul gave San Francisco fits. It's Shanghai, San Francisco, Seoul, Philadelphia, where I sit right this second. And the only thing that's going to change my mind is if they can turn it around and make this happen. Equally disappointing was the North American region in the League of Legends group stages. There were 3 teams from North America out of the 16 that were there. 4, 16. Yep, making sure my math is good. Number 1 seed, Team Solo Mid. Sitting there in Group C, had a pretty decent position. Had a couple of teams that they should have been able to beat, and that way they would have been fine moving on to the bracket stage. They pooped the bed. Absolutely 100% of all the 4 teams I'm going to talk about in this segment pooped the bed. They didn't win a single match in their first 3 group stages. Not a single one. And again, by the time you listen to this on Saturday, Group C will have finished. So the best they can do is 3-3. The worst they can do is 0-6. The other 3 teams in the group are each 2-1. Which means if TSM is going to move on to the bracket stage, not only do they have to win all 3 of those matches, they're going to need a bucket load of help in order to do it. Now, I found this excellent resource online. Someone had made and shared on Reddit this guide to how each team in the 2020 Worlds can advance to the bracket stage based on how the first 3 matches went. It's a very, very cool resource that I was using all day for Group A, which we'll get to in a minute with Team Liquid. So here, for example, if I'm looking at Group C, right, this thing tells me that the only way TSM can move on to brackets is to win all 3 of their matches, which will force tiebreakers against someone. So it gives me the 6 results that could happen in Group C. TSM beating all the other 3 teams, Gen G beating LGD, Fnatic beating LGD beating Fnatic, and then Fnatic beating Gen G in this weird rock, paper, scissors thing. So then Gen G and TSM will tie, and then LGD and Fnatic will tie, and those 2 tiebreakers will decide who's moving on, because everybody will be 3-3. That is one of the ways this could happen. In fact, all of these tiebreakers are basically either everybody ties or TSM is shooting for second place. But in order to get there, they have to win all 3. As soon as they lose 1 match, they're done. That's how it is for Team Solo Mid right now on Saturday morning. Again, when you're listening to this, it's Saturday at 4 o'clock. They could have done that. And they could have won their tiebreaker, and they could be moving on to brackets, and they could be a huge Cinderella story for all the North American fans to be proud of. Do I see that happening based on their first 3 matches? No, because they were taken to the woodshed by all 3 of those teams. So, Team Solo Mid, sorry. It was nice to know you. Get out. FlyQuest is a different story. FlyQuest was able to win 1 match of their first 3 matches last weekend. They defeated the Unicorns of Love, who came from the play-ins and are again the best named team in 2020 Worlds groups this year. They have a little bit more of a flexible scenario here, winning all 3 of their matches will get them to brackets in 7 out of 8 scenarios. The only scenario it won't would create a 3-way tie for first place between FlyQuest, Top Esports, and DRX. But that would require Top Esports to lose 2 matches, and I just don't see that happening. If anything, the scenario I see here, if FlyQuest can win all 3 of their matches, is FlyQuest only, Top Esports only losing to FlyQuest and beating everybody else, so that FlyQuest would advance second, Top Esports would be first. That's how I see FlyQuest getting through. But that still means they have to beat all 3 teams. And Unicorns of Love they've already beat. That might happen. I don't see them beating DRX, and I certainly don't see them beating Top Esports. So I think FlyQuest is going to be outside looking in as well. That's in Group D. Those matches are playing Sunday morning. So if you're listening to this on Saturday, those haven't happened yet. They're the only thing I can talk about in this segment that has not actually happened yet. Rooting for FlyQuest. I really, really am. But again, it'll take them winning all 3 of their matches in order to do it. There are 3 scenarios where they can lose once and still make it, and it requires DRX falling apart or them losing to only Unicorns of Love and beating Top Esports and DRX. And I don't see that happening either. So, unfortunately, it does not look good for FlyQuest. And the 3rd seed out of the North American region, Team Liquid, in Group A. Unfortunately, we already know that they are not in bracket stage. They lost. They were 2-1 going in to the final day of groups earlier today on Thursday. They went 1-2. No, they were 1-2 going in. They went 2-1 today, so they finished 3-3. And the where everybody fit in the standings actually fell to the final match of the day. G2 versus Suning. G2 out of the European region LEC, Suning out of the Chinese region. Went head-to-head. If G2 had won, it would have forced a tiebreaker between Team Liquid and Suning, whom Team Liquid had beaten earlier in the day. If Suning had won, they not only would have advanced, but it would have forced a tiebreaker between Suning and G2 to see who was the first seed and who was the second seed. And that is unfortunately what happened. Suning beat G2 to get to the tiebreaker, and then beat them again to be first in the standings coming out of Group A. So Group A finishes Suning, G2, Team Liquid, Machi Esports. That's it. Group A is decided. Suning and G2 are moving on. So one NA team has already been eliminated as of Thursday night. The other 2 are on life support, one more than the other, but still not looking very good. Not really sure what the heck is happening here. I thought North America was able to at least hold their own. I knew that they weren't the best region in the world at League of Legends, but Team Solomid especially was coming in with all this hype because they had Bjergsen and Doublelift, their dynamic duo, back again after multiple seasons away, while Doublelift was at Cloud9, and now all of a sudden, something happened. I don't know what it is, but they are not looking good. And I hope, as a North American League of Legends fan, a new one, I'll admit, but one all the same, that they can turn this around and fix it before things get dire for the North American region. Now, I'm going to give some brief predictions for the rest of the groups. We already know Suning and G2 Esports. I think Group B is going to be Damwon and JD Gaming. Damwon went 3-0 in the first 3 matches. I don't see them losing at all. I'm rooting for Rogue. I would like Rogue to sneak in at number 2, but I think JD is too good. Gen G, I think, is going to finish exactly how it is right now. Gen G 1, Fnatic 2, LGD 3, TSM 4. Although everybody except TSM is tied at 2-1, so that's wide open. And then Group D, I also think it's going to end up exactly how it is now. Top Esports first, DRX second, FlyQuest third, and Unicorns of Love fourth. So next time we talk, next Thursday night, not only will all the groups be decided, but the first match of brackets will have played as well. So we'll have 7 teams left. One will have been eliminated by this time next week when I am gracing your ears again with all of the esports news of the week. So there you have that to look forward to. But that's enough about disappointing esports teams. I hope they can turn them around, at least the teams that can turn them around. You still have time, dang it. I want to be able to report next week that good things are happening for North American League of Legends teams, and especially your Philadelphia Fusion. Okay, so from disappointments to great things, there are 2 games to talk about this week that will be gracing your consoles or your digital marketplaces for your gaming pleasure. Get out your cups, make sure you're thirsty. It's time for What's on Tap. First up on tap this week is FIFA 21, the long-time annual soccer franchise's brand new entry coming to your PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I'm sure Sean Brace is very excited listening to this. We spoke about FIFA 21 earlier today. Brand new features, like FIFA Ultimate Team has been upgraded, gameplay has been upgraded. It's a new FIFA. You know what to expect. And secondly, Torchlight 3, the 3rd installment in the Diablo-esque isometric RPG, which a little tongue-in-cheek humor to boot. For those RPG fans waiting for Diablo 4 patiently to come out that need something to play, Torchlight 3 is your jam. That's pretty much it for the upcoming week. FIFA 21, Torchlight 3. What's on tap for you? Yeah, not a big week this week as far as on tap is concerned. There were a few things that I had left off. Not really anything, though, that jumped out to me. The biggest thing, actually, for me is the Minecraft Steve DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate hitting on the 13th, which is Tuesday. I am going to break that down big time. Very much looking forward to what Nintendo has going on with that. And anything that could make my Smash Brothers experience a little bit spicier is what I am looking to do. But the Switch is out right now. For our second segment tonight, we're going to talk about the new consoles, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, because we are just about 1 month away from launch. Xbox Series X hits November the 10th, PlayStation 5 November the 12th. So you may be deciding still, what console do you want? If you have both pre-ordered, maybe you'll cancel one. Maybe you'll cancel both and build a PC. The sky is the limit, really, for you. But I am here today to talk about not the systems themselves. We have gone over that. We have gone over the specifications and what this one has, what this one doesn't have, the Series S and the X versus the PlayStation 5 disc and not disc. We've done all that. Here, now, I want to talk about the games that will be available for each console the day they launch. Because that, to me, is a big deciding factor in what I'm going to play or what console I'm going to pick up and put more of my focus on when one is coming out. Now, last generation, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I was fortunate enough to get both the day they launched. One was the first week in November, the first Friday in November. The other one was 2 weeks later. Or a week later, excuse me. I was fortunate enough to get them both the day they launched, and I owned one the entire run, loved both of them. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One both served me very, very well. I did upgrade at one point to PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X. I was actually fortunate enough to win one of the Xbox One X's from Taco Bell with the gradient. I didn't win it, I should say. That was sent to me by Xbox. The one where you turn it on and it makes the Taco Bell gong sound instead of the actual Xbox sound. Pretty cool console, I will admit. But I am still on the fence about Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. I would, in a perfect world, I would get them both at launch again, but things are different in 2020 than they were in 2013. Namely, I have children. So I need to do some research and make a decision if I'm going to get one at all at launch, or if I'm going to wait on both, or if I'm going to find a way to swing it and get both. And part of me doing that is looking at the slate of games that are coming out with the system. Now, there are some things to consider this time around that I did not have to consider last time, and that is the emphasis by both consoles on the free upgrade paths for games that you own on PlayStation 4 that are being upgraded for the new consoles. You are going to be given the upgrade for free. Not every game is doing this. Each system has a list of what games are and what games aren't. But I think that has to play a role as well, just so you know what games you already own will be buffed on day one. For example, today's Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate announcement, part of that was anyone who owns Aftermath will get the bump to Ultimate for free and then including the enriched 4K visuals, the faster loading times, the cross-gen, cross-platform online play. I don't know that includes the $14.99 Combat Pack 2. That may be separate no matter what. But the main crux is, if they already own Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, they're bumping up at no extra charge, and they'll get all the enhancements as if it were an update just by downloading it to their Xbox or their PlayStation. Some games are just not doing that, but they're backwards compatible. We're not really considering that today. We are focusing on the optimized games and which games will have smart delivery, where they, in Xbox's case, where you get the Xbox Series X version if you own the Xbox One version, or in PlayStation's case, it's just an upgrade for free. So let's start with Xbox. As far as the games that are coming out on day one for the Xbox, they are as follows: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Bright Memory, Dirt 5, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, FIFA 21, Fortnite, Gears 5 with a Series X upgrade, Gears Tactics, Marvel Avengers, NBA 2K21, Observer System Redux, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright, I don't even know what that is, Samurai Showdown, Tetris Effect Connected, The Falconeer, Watch Dogs Legion, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Games that can be optimized either now or later on. If you buy them on Xbox One and you upgrade, you can get them smart delivery. Games like Cyberpunk 2077, Halo Infinite, Destiny 2, Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon 4. There's a whole list on their console, a decent size list, I would say, of games that will be smart delivered from Xbox One to Xbox Series X, both first-party games and third-party games. So Halo Infinite is first-party. Destiny 2 is not first-party. That's third-party. Cyberpunk is third-party. Fable 4 will only be on Series X, I think, so that's not included. Ori Will of the Wisp is first-party. That's a good example. Psychonauts 2 is first-party. Double Fine is owned by Xbox. That's a good example. So on and so forth. There's a whole list you can find of what will be optimized for the Series X of games that is already out right now or are coming soon. And that is on the Xbox website as well as any other website that you can find covering the Xbox Series X. So what you have to consider there aren't a lot of first-party games coming out for the Series X that are exclusive to the Series X. The one major first-party game that is coming to console for the first time on the same day the console launches, that Xbox Series X launches, is Gears Tactics. And that's only good if you like those top-down StarCraft-style tactics games where you're controlling a bunch of individual units on a giant map as opposed to just playing as one guy shooting his way through a bunch of bad guys. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is on both systems. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, despite being a major part of Xbox's video presentations leading up to the console, is on both systems. FIFA 21 is on both systems. NBA 2K21 is on both systems. Tetris Effect Connected technically is the Xbox Series X version of Tetris Effect, but that game's already on PlayStation and PSVR. So if you have a VR system, that's the way to play that. Yakuza Like a Dragon is another one that is Xbox Series X exclusive for now. I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but it definitely is at launch. So that's another. That if you're a Yakuza fan, that might be one that gets you to the Xbox. I personally am seeing the lack of a major first-party Xbox Series X title with the movement of Halo Infinite to 2021. I feel like they really were banking on that to be the launch title, and now that it's not there, that might hurt things a bit. But they also have Xbox Game Pass, with EA Play joining Game Pass the same day the console launches. So you get all of the Xbox Game Pass games plus all of EA's library under the same subscription, which is stupid good. So that's a major selling point too. So you'll have, if you get Game Pass Ultimate, you'll have, 120 games right out of the box because of the backwards compatibility of the Xbox One. That might not all be optimized for Series X and running on the updated specs and everything like that, but you still have improved load times and some upscaling. So that is the Xbox focus, why that is a good console to start with of the two. Going to PlayStation 5, this is a much more traditional launch, I feel like. There are games that will only be on PS5. There are other games that are coming to both consoles that will have a free upgrade like the Xbox Series X will do. So these now are the confirmed PlayStation 5 games coming that launches alongside the console on November the 12th. Astro's Playroom, which is a follow-up to Astrobot Rescue Mission on PSVR. That is preloaded on all the PlayStation 5s. You'll have that right out of the box. Bugsnax, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Fortnite, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Godfall, Marvel Spider-Man's Miles Morales, NBA 2K21, Observer System Redux, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and The Pathless. The Pathless being a open-world adventure game, kind of looking like Breath of the Wild, but not quite, made by the same company that made Abzu, Giant Squid. Looks like a very, very cool game there, based on the trailers that we've seen. Now, what you're seeing here in this list of launch games are exclusives. Games that are only coming to PlayStation, in some cases, PlayStation 5. Demon's Souls, only coming to PlayStation 5. Godfall, as I understand it, only coming to PlayStation 5. Sackboy: A Big Adventure is on both consoles. Miles Morales will be on PlayStation 4 as well. The special editions of Devil May Cry 5 will be available digitally at launch on both PS4 and PS5. The Pathless is a PS5 exclusive. Destruction All-Stars is a PS5 exclusive. Astro's Playroom, the preloaded game, is a PS5 exclusive. And preloaded games tend to do very well or succeed very well on the consoles they are preloaded on. Case in point, anyone who bought a 360 will remember Hexic HD and how much time you spent spinning those gems around just because it was there. I know I did it. I don't know about you. But the other consideration is the games that you already own that will upgrade for free. Some of those include Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If you decide to jump in at the end of October and then upgrade to a PS5, you can get the upgrade for free. Borderlands 3, if you own that, you can get it for free. Cyberpunk 2077, if you don't upgrade it first, but you buy Cyberpunk on PS5, you'll be able to upgrade for free. Dead by Daylight, Destiny 2, Dirt 5, Doom Eternal, Far Cry 6, FIFA 21, the digital version of Hitman 3, Horizon Forbidden West, which will come out in 2021 for both consoles, Immortals Phoenix Rising, that new game from Ubisoft, Kena Bridge of Spirits, which is an exclusive, I believe, Madden 21, Maneater, Marvel's Avengers, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, Riders Republic from Ubisoft, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Rainbow Six Siege, The Elder Scrolls Online, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Watch Dogs Legion, WRC9, and there's Yakuza Like a Dragon, so it is not a PS5 exclusive, like I thought, Xbox Series X exclusive, like I thought it was. So those are all the PS4 games that we know are upgraded to PS5 for free. You can add Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate to that list based on its reveal today. That is a decent amount of games to get upgraded to PS5 for free with everything that entails. So if you own a lot of these games, like if you're not ready to give up Borderlands 3 and you own it on PlayStation, that might sway you. If you built a Destiny 2 character on PlayStation that is an extension of your actual human existence and you don't want to lose that character, some people play Destiny a lot, PlayStation 5 will let you do that for free. Doom Eternal, if you beat that game and you just want to play the DLC, but you're not going to get to it when it launches on 1020, if you have it on PS4, you'll upgrade to PS5, buy the DLC there, you're good to go. FIFA 21, if you're adopting it tomorrow, like Sean Brace is, and then you pick up a PS5 at launch, FIFA 21 will upgrade for free. This is cool. It's the same thing that Xbox is doing with Smart Delivery, but they don't have a name for it. They don't have a Smart Delivery style distinction. It's just you'll get these upgrades for free. And it's a decent list of things that people might want to jump in now that they'll be able to upgrade for free if they decide to do a new console as well. The main argument here is, for you, what games do you already own that'll be optimized on which console? And then it's Game Pass Ultimate and everything that entails versus heavy-duty exclusives for PlayStation. Those two things right there are the main crux of any discussion involving these brand new consoles. For me, a lot of the games that I own that would be upgraded, like third party at least, I own on both consoles. And Game Pass Ultimate to me is far too good of a deal to pass up, particularly with EA Play involved. So if I have to choose between one of the two consoles, I think I'm going Xbox first. and then I'll get a PlayStation 5 a little further down the line. Partly because I'm still playing some PlayStation 4 exclusives. Ghost of Tsushima is currently, when I boot my PlayStation 4 up from rest mode, that is what will appear. Playing that right now, and I absolutely love it. Now that I figured out the combat, but that's another story. So for me, sitting here, Xbox Series X would be the way I would go to start, because the main exclusives of PlayStation 5, either I can get on PS4, Spider-Man Miles Morales and Bugsnax being the two that I'm really focused on, or the exclusives don't really appeal to me all that much. Demon's Souls, just never got into a Souls game, and Godfall, which looks cool, but I want to see how it launches first. That's one of those games where I'm like, I want to see what you look like first before you come out. Otherwise, the games that are launching, Devil May Cry 5, NBA 2K21, Observer System Redux, are coming to Xbox. And then I have games that are launching like Gears Tactics or Devil May Cry Special Edition. I have Devil May Cry 5 on Xbox One. If I can upgrade to Special Edition for cheaper or free, I would do that. I've played every Assassin's Creed since the first Assassin's Creed in 2007 on Xbox. I would go Valhalla for Xbox One or Xbox Series X. That's what I would. That's the decision I would make. I have two fighting games on Xbox that are being upgraded for free in Samurai Showdown and Mortal Kombat 11. I actually have Samurai Showdown on both consoles, so that one doesn't really count. But Mortal Kombat 11 I play on Xbox. That'll be upgraded for free, and I can play against other PlayStation owners online, so that's not an issue for me. So what I'm getting into is it's really your decision. It's what you want. It's what you're into. Brace is a PlayStation guy through and through. Sean Brace is, and we talk about that all the time on the Daily Ticket, 4 o'clock on Thursdays on Fox PHL The Gambler. So he wants his PlayStation. He's familiar with it. He's comfortable with it. Great. Go for it. I want everything, but if I have to choose first, I'm going Xbox first, because the last time I had to choose between 360 and PS3, I went 360 first, and eventually got myself a PlayStation and was whole again. Hoping I don't have to make that decision this time, but we'll see. I'll be happy with it if I do, and it just depends on where the dice roll. So I'm actually going to branch from this discussion about what's coming out at launch for Series X and PlayStation 5 and my personal preference into our topic for the evening in the speed run. So let's get on to that. Okay, the speed run tonight, I'm going to get a little loud, a little angry, just because there is something that has been bothering me on social media lately. Yes, I know. Something bothered me on social media. Join the club, Jason. You're nothing new. But it's pertinent to what we just discussed in the Xbox and PlayStation coming out with new consoles. And that is this notion that there has to be a war between the two consoles, with Xbox loyalists and PlayStation loyalists constantly combating each other in the replies or comments of every freaking social media post that there is on both sides. It makes no sense to me. Click on any post from Xbox or PlayStation and look how many replies you can get to before it's a conversation, maybe asking a question about the thing or someone showing genuine excitement. There must be people with bots just waiting for Xbox or PlayStation to make a post so that they can say Xbox is better or PS5 all day or all this other stuff. Do they not understand how stupid they look? Do they not get how dumb and juvenile and outright silly they look by constantly spamming these posts day after day after day? There is no console war. I hate to break this to you. There never was a console war. People just pick their sides, and like everything else in this world, it seems, if you didn't agree with them, you were wrong. Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, back in the early 90s, They made it seem like there was a console war because Sega Genesis does what Nintendo don't and all that other crap. But again, that was just people who picked one over the other and decided that the other side was wrong. There is no rule, there is no mandate that says if you prefer PlayStation to Xbox, you must be a jerk to Xbox. Nothing tells you that you have to do that. And yet you go out of your way every single post they make to tell them that their product doesn't matter and the other one is better. Yet you, my unaware friend, are the ones who obviously care more than anyone because you're continually badgering them with your opinion about the other console. Why are you doing this? Why? What is the point other than maybe a quick shot of dopamine when you type that? And if you're a person who made a bot that posts for you, what are you really doing it for? Because then you're not even doing it yourself. You're not putting any effort in. You're not putting any thought into it. You're just blindly telling your bot to post for you whenever Xbox says something that PlayStation 5 is better or vice versa. It's juvenile. It's dumb, it's stupid, and it's unnecessary. Nothing about the console you own defines who you are as a person. You do not have to defend your console to the social media death like you do all the time. It makes no sense, and it doesn't score you any points with the company that you support either. Let's get that clear right now. They're not taking tallies of every single post you make and what you said to the competition and hoping and praying that that person comes to their rescue once again. They don't need you. They don't need you to speak for them like that. You're wasting your time. Now, again, I'm probably just yelling into the void here because it's social media and nothing will ever change on social media unless it changes at the top, and they don't give a crap. If anything, recently I've noticed in any post, this goes across the board. I'm going on a little rant here, I'm sorry. But on any Twitter post I've noticed in recent months, it could be about anything at all. But it used to be that the first comment underneath a post, first couple comments would be more general. It would just be like a quick reaction or maybe a meme or something like that. But I've noticed recently that the first couple comments under every single tweet I read from a news outlet or from a brand Twitter or something like that is just people arguing and going back and forth for no reason. I feel like those controversial or people like the nitpicky or the antagonizing tweets are purposely pushed to the top so that more people interact with them. I don't want to get too tinfoil hat there, but it just seems that way recently. It just seems like the confrontational and controversial replies are pushed to the top whenever you click on a tweet, which then compels people to respond to them, and then you have 5 people yelling at bots or whatever it is. That's for whatever that may be. It just bothers me that people, I don't know how old or young they are. I'm hoping that they're below 18 and that there's no 20-year-olds or God forbid 30-year-olds coming out with their digital pitchforks and torches for their side and telling the other one to go to hell. It doesn't make any sense. You're defending a object that sits on your shelf and gives you entertainment. It's not worth it. And like I said, Xbox and PlayStation aren't going to give you any prizes. They're not going to say, wow, that person was a loyal PlayStation consumer. Let's give them a free console. That doesn't happen. It's not going to happen to you. All you're going to do is look childish on social media for a little while. Especially if you're letting a bot run your account for you when you're not around, and then you post the same 5 things under all of Xbox's 5 most recent statuses. I do not understand this tribal mentality where everything needs to be broken down into divisions and subdivisions and everybody just fights with each other for no reason. Gaming is gaming. It is meant to be inclusive. It is meant to be fun. It is meant to be easygoing. There are games that require, maybe they stress you out or they tell a deep story and stuff like that. It's not just surface level childish stuff. I'm not trying to say that it is, but video gaming in general is meant to be an entertainment medium for everyone. No one is lesser because of the console they play on or the games that they play. Also, not everyone is someone like me who tries to own and play everything. I want a wide breadth of the games that I play. One night, I'll pick up Super Mario 35 and do a couple of matches on there. Another night, I'll get back into Ghost of Tsushima, which is an open-world major adventure game. Not everyone's like me, but I'm not going to tell you that you should play everything or nothing. That's stupid. You play what you like, you play what you play, and that's it. If we can talk about the games that we're playing together, great. If you played a game that I didn't, hell, you telling me about it might make me want to play it. And vice versa. I would hope that I could convince you that a game is really good by telling you about it. Hell, that's the point of reviews. That's why I review games on this podcast sometimes, because it might be a game that's either on your radar and you want to know how it is, or it's not on your radar and it should be. I think about Carrion when I reviewed that back in July. A lot of people might not know what Carrion is, but it's definitely worthy of your console. You should play it. If you have Xbox, if you have a PC, I don't think it's on PlayStation yet, but it might be soon, play it. It's awesome. It's really, really good. You might not have heard of it. Fall Guys I reviewed on here before it blew up. That was another one that should have been talked about because Fall Guys obviously became very, very popular. But to get back to my original point, the onslaught of pro one console, anti the other console, comments, tweets, replies, whatever you want to call them, is absurd. It's tribalistic and it's dumb. And anyone who actively engages in console wars is an idiot. There, I said it. Gaming is gaming, and that's it. That's all it's ever been. That's all it ever will be. It's an entertainment medium for anyone who wants to pick up a controller that can do so and enjoy it. Whether they're playing the deepest, dankest RPG that there is, if they're digging into Baldur's Gate 3 right now and they absolutely love it, or if they're picking up a couple casual games of Fortnite. Or if Super Mario becomes family time, or if they're grinding in the training levels of Dragon Ball FighterZ or Mortal Kombat 11, waiting for that next tournament, or if they're grinding in Overwatch or Call of Duty because they want to make the leagues. Same with League of Legends. Nothing is bad with the games that people choose to play. They might not be the ones that you choose, but they're not wrong for choosing them. I'm so tired of seeing these PS5 better tweets, PS5 for life, Xbox Series X is better. Just shut up. Shut up. I know this is a fruitless argument. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to go into a void. Hell, it may even have people come at me for saying that console wars are stupid and telling me which console is better, which defeats the whole purpose. Fine. I'm ready for that. But I just had to get this off my chest because I was sick and tired of looking at it. I don't understand why people need to tell other people that their choices are wrong. Sean Brace, my program director, who I talk to every Thursday at 4 o'clock on the Daily Ticket on the radio, he is a PlayStation guy. Always has been, always will be. He grew up with PlayStation. He's most comfortable with PlayStation. That's great. I will tell him that a Nintendo Switch is something he needs to look into. I will tell him that an Xbox Series X is great, if it is indeed great, when I finally get my hands on one. But I'm not going to tell him he's wrong for sticking with PlayStation. It's what he likes. It's what he does. He's a sports gamer. He loves PGA Tour, 2K21. I get texts all the time of his character, Johnny Gambles, winning tour after tour. Great. I like PGA Tour 2K21 as well, not as much as he does. FIFA 21, he's probably going to sit in all weekend with his kid on one knee and his controller on the other, playing FIFA. I am not that type of gamer. I don't like FIFA. I like FIFA, don't get me wrong. I like playing FIFA, but I'm not going to dive headfirst into it like he is. That's fine. That's fine. If there's one thing you take from any of the podcasts that you listen to of mine, it's that it's fine. People can play whatever they want. You can play whatever you want. No one is telling you you're wrong. So just play. Just play. Play on your Xbox. Play on your PlayStation. Play on your Switch. Play on your 3DS if you still have it. Play on your PC. Just play. And enjoy it. Don't stop sucking the fun out of what is supposed to be a fun medium for other people. Stop sucking the fun out of it. Just leave them alone. We fight about enough on this godforsaken planet right now. Let's not fight about games. All right? That's all I'm saying. That's my speed run. That's my rant. I'm sorry. I don't usually like to get so huff on a rant on this podcast, but this was just something that was burning my butt, and I had to get it off my chest. I appreciate you sticking around. If you are still here, I just want to give one more brief update before I leave on my Extra Life 2020 campaign. As I have talked about on other episodes, Extra Life is a charity event where I will be playing video games for 24 hours straight to support Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, part of the Children's Miracle Networks here in Philadelphia. As of last tally, which I will look at right now just to be sure, I did receive a little bit of donations this week. Very happy for that. I am now at $541, heading towards my goal of $12.26, which is $1 more than the most I've ever made in 1 year of these campaigns. Hence the weird number. And $541 might sound weird, but somebody, a friend of mine named Sean, not Sean Brace, different Sean, donated $26 so that anyone who donated on the fives from here on out, it would either be 1 or 6, so I could get to exactly that goal. He basically, if I get to $12.25 again, he donated the extra dollar to push me over the edge, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Sean. But other folks who have donated to my cause, my Aunt Pat came through with a donation, which was very nice of her. My mother came through with a donation, which was very nice of her as well. I never make anybody do this. If you donate if you want to, you don't have to. I'm not going to tell you that you have to be a part of this, but it is a wonderful cause, donating towards Children's Miracle Networks. In my case, it's Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. If you're listening elsewhere, if you happen to be listening to this video game podcast and there's a Children's Miracle Network hospital closer to you, find someone who's playing for that hospital and donate to them instead. Have your money go wherever you want it to, in whatever hospital you want it to go to. I never see a cent of it. I only see the transactions on my website, and then the charity takes the money and ships it to the hospital. I don't have any part of that, so you don't have to worry about me, taking a little whatever here and there. It just doesn't happen. Does not happen. It is simply a charity event where I'm just going to play video games for a bunch of time, and hopefully raise a good amount of money for the children at CHOP. I am currently at 541 of 1226, and as the offer has gone, if I hit that 1226 number, if I get to 1,226 before November 7th, just under a month from now, which is the marathon game day, part of my marathon, my 24 hours of gaming, will be playing at least 1 hour of Resident Evil 7 in VR on PlayStation 4, so I won't be able to run or go anywhere. Oh, and I'll stream the entire thing so you can watch a man be scared out of his bones live on Twitch, twitch.tv/jfan64. It is not at Big Man Fanelli. It should be. It's not. It's at jfan64 on Twitch. And that I want to get there because I want to not only raise the money for the hospital, but I also think it could be fun. I don't do horror games very well. I don't know if you don't know me, you don't know that, but horror games are not my jam. I tend to watch a little bit and then play a little bit, so I know when the jump scares are coming. But here I am willing to bite the bullet and do what I got to do in VR for the kids at CHOP. So the URL for my donation page will be in the information of this podcast on iHeartRadio or foxphlgambler.com. Check that out. It is extra-life.org/participant/Jason-Fanelli. Lots of slashes and dashes there. It's easier to read in the information, so please do that there. Any donation counts. $1, $100, $1,000. Don't do that unless you have it. But that's how you can get involved, and that's how you can be a part of Extra Life, which is a fantastic organization and definitely one worthy of your donations. And if you're into that kind of thing, they're all tax deductible when it comes to be tax time. So, neat. With that is episode 17 of the Cheesesteaks and Controllers podcast, a rather dour one now that we're thinking about it, between the Fusion and the North American teams not doing very well and the rant I just went on at the end. But honestly, these are things that have to be talked about. We can't just all be rainbows and unicorns of love here. We got to talk about the bad stuff too. And unfortunately, it just happened in one of those episodes. We're going to come back next week strong, talk about some more esports, hopefully talk about a Grand Finals championship. If not, then we'll just talk about what happened and how we can get better for next year. Consoles are coming. Extra Life is coming. It's a good time. It's a good time to be a gamer. Please go out and enjoy your gaming. For Cheesesteaks and Controllers at Fox PHL The Gambler, 102.5 FM, 1480 AM, iHeartRadio. I am Jason Fanelli, the Esports and Gaming Insider for the radio station. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out the Rodney McLeod Show every Tuesday at 6 o'clock on the radio station, Fox PHL The Gambler. We actually talked about a win this week. That was great. Keep that up, Eagles. We are very happy when you win, and we are very unhappy when you lose. So please keep those winning waves going so we can talk about wins and nothing but wins with Rodney on the station every Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again next week. Maybe not so angry next time. Bye-bye.